Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to make this awesome planter box out of pallet wood. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let's do it. For this project I used 3 pallets. If you go around the industrial warehouses you can actually find a couple of decent ones, which if you ask permission for, they will be more than happy to give you, as they have to pay to get rid of them anyways. Taking apart pallets can be a tricky thing to do unless you know how to. You need 2 spare boards. Insert one on either side of the board that you want to release from the pallet, push them down and it will immediately become loose. Make sure that the boards you are placing are as close to the nails as possible, as you are at risk of snapping the board. After removing what I could, the leftover wood seemed very damaged from so many nails, so I decided to cut off the good parts, which could become handy. After this, I started to remove any nails that were left behind using my hammer and pliers. I laid down the front of the planter box, which consisted of 5 boards. I got some scrap wood to leave an even gap in between each board. I placed a plank of wood over the 5 boards and drew a line at the bottom, leaving enough space so we can add the base on later. Since we need to do the back also, I needed 6 boards in total. I got the 6 boards and taped them together and cut them with a saw. Once cut, I made sure that the boards still had the same amount of space in between them, and I glued and screwed the 3 boards in place. You will need to repeat this process for the back also. I got one of the longer boards and measured an inch inwards. Since we are not using any power tools, again, I got my saw and started to cut. We need 2 of these, so you will need to repeat this. Once cut, I glued and screwed it into place under the 3 boards we just installed. Again, you need to do this for the back also. Next, we have to prepare the sides. I decided to cut my sides at 45 centimeters. I used the same technique as before and taped all 10 boards together and cut it at once to save me some time. Once cut, it's just a matter of drilling some holes and screwing them into place. This is what you should end up with. Turn the box on its side and make sure that the base is looking up. Place the back panel into position. Once complete, drill your holes and screw them into place. I measured the base from one side to the other to make sure it was all the same length. I cut the boards to length using the same technique. After everything is cut, you can start to place the planks into position. If you have a little bit of trouble, you can always use your hammer to tap in when necessary. Start to drill your holes and continue to screw them all down nicely. Now for the legs. I got 4 boards of 120 centimeters and cut them right in half using the same technique. I put 2 halves together, added glue on one of the edges and placed the other one on top. I got a spare plank of wood to rest the leg on whilst I hammered in the nails. I repeated this 4 times and let them dry. After a couple of hours, I applied enough glue to the inside of each leg and placed it along the corner of the planter box. I proceeded to nail it in, starting from the bottom and making my way up gradually. I did the same for all 4 corners. Now that it's sitting upright, we need to make the trim which goes along the top to give it that finished look. Since the boards I had were not long enough, I measured the center point of the planter box and cut 4 boards to size. Since we are not using any power tools, I'm going to show you how to cut a miter joint to perfection using a saw. Get 2 boards and place one on top of the other to create a 90-degree angle. Mark the point that I'm showing you here. Remember, precision is key. Draw a line from the corner to your mark and cut this off with your saw. Do the same for all the corners. Once cut, they should meet perfectly like this. Remember, this is what's going to be visible to the eye, so I secured it down with nails to make it less noticeable. Make sure that you nail it in the right position so you get the boards that are underneath. Now, this pallet did have a couple of holes, so I just covered them up with a little bit of wood filler. Once this dried, I sanded down all the parts which were going to be seen. Cleaned off any dust with a humid cloth and dyed it with wood dye. After this dried, I gave it 2 coats of clear gloss varnish, as this planter box will be exposed to the elements and we want it to last for a long time. I let it dry for 24 hours before I continued to adding the finishing touches. I installed a thick black plastic, which is what's going to be holding in the soil. I cut it down to size and positioned it how I wanted. I took a couple of small screws and secured it into place. Everything is going great, but we need to add some sort of drainage. So I grabbed one of the longer, thicker nails that was once on the pallet and started to pierce holes for the water to escape. I was really happy with the result, so now it's time for gardening. This is how my planter box ended up looking like. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts and what you would like to see me make next. See you guys next time.